So this was some interesting news that came out about the PlayStation 5, and these are rumors, so as always, you're going to want to go ahead and take these with a grain of salt. These are rumors that literally just came out. The first PlayStation 5 rumors point to an 8-core Zen CPU, a Navi GPU, dev kit's already out, etc., etc. Some of this stuff we've heard before. It's very, very interesting. So, there was an article posted earlier today claiming to have access to concrete information regarding Sony's PlayStation 5 hardware. Now, the details were hidden behind a paywall, but they actually did access and list them for people. So the PlayStation 5 is going to supposedly feature an APU comprised of an 8-core Zen CPU and a Navi-based GPU, both customized, as usual with consoles, of course. Now, they don't know much about Navi yet, but AMD has previously linked its name to scalability and next-gen memory. The latter could refer to GDDR6 memory, which both Samsung and SK Hynix have recently made available. This is also interesting because the article also claims that the hardware will be engineered with VR optimization in mind, thus suggesting that Sony will keep banging a drum with PlayStation VR. Also, there's a large amount of development kits that have already been sent out to game developers that led them to speculate that the console with launch could be much closer than anyone thought possible, even targeting holiday 2018 or early 2019 release windows. Honestly, it seems very unlikely to me personally and to this article that I'm reading that those would actually happen. While PlayStation 4 sales have slightly slowed down recently, the console can surely be pushed for a while longer thanks to highly anticipated exclusives like The Last of Us Part 2, Death Stranding, Ghost of Tsushima, Days Gone, and others. So they're speculating that the earliest we'd see is fall 2019, which would make sense because it launched in fall 2013, the PS4 did, and so that would be a 6-year window. But don't be completely surprised if the next generation console doesn't come out till 2020 as well, because we've also seen before in the previous rumors like this that people actually get these development kits well ahead of time, right? So years sometimes. Now, I don't know any quote-unquote big-time developers, but some of the developers that I do know, I asked, and nobody has any idea about these dev kits. That's not saying that that's the for sure thing, but if you remember, I was able to get Project Neo and Project Scorpio roadmaps and documents, and so far nothing on this front. With that being said, it brought some interesting ideas ahead in terms of what people expect with this. And I was talking about it on Twitter to some people, and it's a good debate for sure, because a lot of people are like, well, the PS4 and PS4 Pro will likely be forward compatible with the PS5 at least for a while, which to me really kind of makes the PS5 irrelevant at launch. Basically, I was told that people would upgrade to the PS5 for better graphics. But if that were the case, wouldn't everybody be upgrading to the Xbox One X? Because that surely has the better graphics of any console out. And while it's doing okay, it's clearly not doing extremely, extremely well, or else we'd know about it. Nobody's leaving. It looks like there's not a ton of people leaving PS4 for an Xbox One X because it's a mid-gen upgrade. Now, we probably know that we've heard rumors that the next Xbox is going to launch in 2020, and that very well could be the case. Supposedly, Microsoft is gearing up to go all out. It's going to launch with Gears of War 5 and Forza Motorsport 8 and some other things. But also, you're going to be able to play those games on your Xbox One, Xbox One X. So it really kind of takes the need or want to go buy these new consoles. Like, it's not a traditional type console cycle. I'm not sure Microsoft cares about that. Sony, I'm not so sure. Now, Sony could be a big deal and get a year jump by launching in 2019, and that would be awesome for them, right? If they had exclusives for that PlayStation 5 that couldn't be played on their PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 4 Pro, right? So if Sony were to go that more traditional route, that could be huge for them, because people will upgrade and they would have a whole year to kind of all to themselves, right? On the negative side, according to the PlayStation 4 Neo documents, they force parity with frame rate between the regular PS4 and the PS4 Pro in multiplayer games. So if they do allow cross-platform play with PS4 and the games are forward compatible for a little while, would that also mean parity for the frame rate? Like, there's a lot of ifs and buts here to kind of discuss and talk about. Great talking points, in my opinion. I just think that it's one of those situations where we don't know. This is just rumor. It's good to talk about in some fun speculation. In further news, Michael Pachter was actually talking about the PlayStation 5 release. You guys know who Michael Pachter is. He said PS4 successor will most likely release in 2020, although a release in 2019 shouldn't totally be ruled out. He said 25% probability next year and 75% in 2020, which is pretty much where I'm at. I'm at like more, I think 40% could be next year. They could surprise people, but I still think 2020 makes the most sense. But it will be funny to see people switch back to that power narrative if Sony were to push out a PS5 next year. And then, of course, the year after that, the next Xbox would be more powerful than that, and we'd start all over again. And then the Pro, and then, I mean, it's pretty much never ending now. It's like, I feel bad for some of the developers that are going to have to be like, okay, I got to develop for a PS4, PS4 Pro, PS4 Pro, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox One S, Xbox One X, Xbox 2, Xbox 2 Pro, whatever. You know, it's absolutely getting kind of out of hand in my opinion, but I would love your guys' thoughts and opinion. Let me know what you guys think. Rack 'em up. Crapgamer, out.